Good Thursday practice. Everybody was running around pretty good. Really felt good about today. Everybody looked pretty sharp. I guess we're as ready as we can be going into the first game. But overall, good day. With that said, questions.
Coach Jared from the Daily News here. Now a couple days away from the game. I guess what's the plan moving forward in terms of your practices or walkthroughs and getting there and all of that, where it is a little bit different this year with the coronavirus and everything?
Well, it'll stay pretty normal for us. I mean, we'll do our walkthroughs here tomorrow. We'll meet, we'll walk through, get most of our work done before we get on the bus to drive up to Louisville. We'll get up there tomorrow. We'll do our COVID testing there. That'll be our third test for the week. We'll do a couple short meetings, nothing, big. Let the guys relax, enjoy the night, just hang out. Saturday, game day, we'll get a couple walkthroughs, couple meetings. But, for the most part, the hay's in the barn. It's just a matter of, keeping everybody healthy and hydrated and getting them ready to play.
To kind of follow up on that, I know I asked you when we had you earlier in the week, but in terms of health and players available, is it still the same?
Yeah, everybody's in good health. Feel good about where we're at. Numbers are good. Depth is good. So yeah, I feel pretty good about where we're at right
now. Coach Casey Warner, College Heights Herald. Davis Shanley had Stephen Duncan had a good game last year against Louisville. How can Terrell Pigrome equate that success in this year's game?
Well, I think, he doesn't have to be a superhero and try to, take everything on his shoulders. I think if he just manages the offense, plays within the offensive system, a big part of it is allowing him to have some early success. And what I mean by that is doing the normal things right, setting up the plays between Coach Ellis and myself where we're taking care of him a little bit, but, allowing him to still be the player that he is. And once the game gets going and he gets comfortable, then, letting him just have the free rein to do what he needs to do. But I think early on, just making sure we put him in good situations. And looking forward to watching him play, though. Really, really excited, and hopefully he has a good game. But I think he's ready to go.
Coach Jared McDonald with the Daily News here. Jaquez Sloan no longer with the program. Obviously, you have JP back as what seems like the main guy, and I know you've been excited about some of the JUCO guys, but where some of those guys are a little bit less experienced, I guess, in terms of playing a game like this, how much of a concern is that, or what are you expecting from those players?
I really like our new guys. They've shown some really good skill in practice. I'm sure they'll have some first game jitters. That's to be expected, but I try to create an atmosphere where guys just go out and play. It's okay to make mistakes. If you drop a ball, you drop a ball. It's not the end of the world, So, there'll be some guys that this will be their first time on a big stage, but I feel like they're ready. If you have a mistake or two or drop a ball, that's just a part of it. It's a long game. I tell the team all the time, get to the last 5 minutes of the game. You want to position yourself to go win the game in the last 5 minutes. So that's the goal for our football team, is try to get to the last 5 minutes where we can try to go win a game. And I've been preaching that to the guys all week, and I feel like, the guys that are new, they'll be fine. They'll have a couple of first game jitters, but once the game gets going, I think they'll be fine.
Coach, you talked a lot about the players, but for you personally, how is this year different as a head coach heading into this first game as opposed to last year where it was the head coaching debut for you?
Feels the same. Everything's a new year. I think, you should always have some butterflies. I would be worried if I didn't have butterflies. That's kind of what makes me go. It's what makes me have an edge. I think, it makes you sharp. It makes you on key. So I don't feel any different. Now, I sleep good at night. It doesn't matter win or lose, those kind of things. It is what it is. The good Lord's got me, and He's got my football team, and we just go out there and do our best. So that's how I look at life, anyways. So, but there's no question when we wake up Saturday morning, those butterflies will gradually work their way up to the game. But that's a really good thing. That's a really good thing, and makes you sharp, and it makes you at your best. So I'm sure I'll be that way come Saturday.
Coach, this is Aaron Matus with WDRB. On one hand, Louisville has a lot of these guys back, so there's plenty of film on their offense. But on the other hand, a couple of them had big games against you guys last year. I guess, do you see them being even more dangerous this year with the experience? And I know you're playing together for the most part with the core.
Yeah, I think they're a very, very talented football team. I think I said last week, I've watched every game. I thought they were a talented group that was trying to find their way when they first played us early in the season. But as they got towards the end of the season, they were hitting on all cylinders, and they developed into a good football team. I expect them to be even better in this opening game. So we'll have our hands full. They have some really explosive players, really good key guys for them that I think they'll try to utilize. And so I expect them to be even a better football team than we faced last year. Now, with that being said, I think our kids are very excited. I think they're looking forward to the challenge. I think we have a good football team, so we'll see how we match up with them. But Coach Satterfield does a tremendous job with his staff and getting his players ready, and I'm sure they'll be ready, as will we, and looking forward to a good football game.
Coach, watching last year's film with the guys, what you've been preaching to them as far as what's going to be the difference in the game between last year's game and this year's game as far as coming out with victory?
Well, I think the big things are, field position is critical. I think we had a couple, field positions bad field positions that we put ourselves in. I think we got to stay in front of the chains. We had a couple second and longs that we weren't able to overcome that became third and longs. Like any football game, turnovers are critical. So I think your first game, it's about doing all the normal everyday things correctly, getting the snap, executing the play correctly. If the play's not there, don't make a bad play worse. Those things will be key, and that's what gets you to the last 5 minutes. All the other plays, the big plays, they just come naturally in the game. They find their way to happen. It's those critical errors that happen to pop up because a quarterback does something wrong, or the offensive line doesn't has a MA, they do something wrong, or you drop a ball, a big play ball down the field. Those are the kind of things that you got to be able to limit and in the early part of the game. But I think if we get past the early stage of the game and we're doing everything correctly and can be consistent, then we'll position ourselves for down the stretch in the fourth quarter.